probably cry tears of blood if he saw me with his sunglasses on. But it's too late now. Protoss at the bottom of the map, the Terran at the left spot. The map is Katrina, a map with a main, actually I won't call it a main, I'll say that your main natural is in the back of your base. What does that mean? That means that you could expand a lot easier than you would expect. And this results in a lot of people actually making their command center or nexus first. Protoss, however, can get a nexus first, even if the main is not in the back of their base. But at the same time, the other result of that is that a lot of smart players end up doing very, very early rushes rather than actually attempting to do the fast expand simply because they predicted their opponent. We did see Jadong beat Slayer's Boxer in a game like that where he just 9-pulled knowing their Boxer would probably get a fast command center and breaking the hearts of Boxer fans all over the world. The game ended in, I believe, under 3 minutes. The probe is on the move. He will scout his opponent in the correct spot. This will give Protoss a very acute advantage right off the bat. Terran probably will not be able to fast command center. And it looks like he's going to use that probe to try to block the barracks from being produced. And he did indeed force the barracks to be put somewhere which wasn't as desirable. And then, is he going to get it? Nope, wait. He might just be trying to trick the Terran into taking the gas prematurely. It would be somewhat illogical to actually build on your opponent's Vespian gas geyser on a map like this, because fast expanding is such a good build. It really wouldn't have any effect other than you wasted 100 minerals, unlike the map Blue Storm. A lot of people don't know this, but that neutral building that can be destroyed, and it also, I believe, can be repaired by the Terrans. So it's kind of like a 4-building wall-off that the Terrans attempt to make. Now, it does indeed look like Protoss is going to be fast expanding because he has not built an assimilator yet. This is a mean probe, really causing some problems within Wannabe's base. LuCifer, a strong Protoss player. And if I do remember correctly, I think he is one of the pros that you will actually find more of his replays on if you search for him than other ones. There, the Nexus goes up. I'm actually surprised that we didn't actually see Nexus first, considering the Protoss scouted his opponent so fast. That might have been because he actually took a probe off of the minerals so early. One Zealot on the move. This will simply force the Terran to at least make one Marine, although Terran's already doing that. And this will also force the Terran to take an SCV off the minerals and begin to repair. Here comes the Marine. A little bit of target practice. Cybernetics core is being produced. Once the cybernetics core is produced, we will have a much better idea of exactly how the Protoss plans on teching. Will he get a lot of gateways and dragoons, and then tech the carriers slowly? Will he go to carriers right off the bat? Will he get the Reaver out? I know people want more analysis in a situation like this, but there are simply too many options for Protoss to possibly predict, and there's really no right way to do it. You really have to play it off of what intelligence the Terran has, and whether or not you can actually do anything to trick the Terran. Second gateway. The SCV is alive, and the Protoss will have to take out that SCV pretty quickly because the core is done. The tech pattern is going to start pretty soon. We do not see Dragoon range being upgraded. I did once see a very smart Protoss player upgrade air weapons in a situation like this, and then tricking the Terran into thinking that he was in fact going Dragoon range because the little thing on the Cybernetics core was doing that little spinny thing, which most Terrans assume is Dragoon range, and then right after he killed the SCV, he teched straight to carriers and won the game. The SCV is still alive. Dragoon range is probably being upgraded unless he's tricking us right now. The command center is almost finished for the Terran. Both builds pretty standard right now. Whoa, that guy hit pretty fast. tend to get the next expansion after this one pretty quickly as well. Protoss, they have a harder time trying to rush in there and take that out, also because Terrans generally predict that the Protoss will get the carriers. Another tank out for the Terran. What we want to wait for now is when will he get the armory. I bet he might even get it before the second factory. Probe barely out of tank range. He really should be killing that probe. The probe is what our Protoss friend LuCifer is going to be using to try to spot when the Terran is going to leave. Robo Bay up now. We could see a possible Reaver. The positions on the map, very, very good for Reavers. Particularly so because the Terran's main expansion is at the bottom left. That's very accessible by Protoss air. It seems as though Wannabe has already predicted this as a possibility, making his turrets down there first. However, even if the Reaver doesn't get in there, it can prove to be effective if you manage to keep the Reaver and shuttle alive, simply because you force the Terran to spend minerals on those turrets. But he may just go for observers and try to spot that early armory and then try to figure out when he's going to do his carrier tech. Where do the SCVs get the materials to make the turret? They just show up there and all of a sudden it must be in their backpack. I don't know. But it never fails to impress me that they can manage to just build that. And it will be Reavers. This is probably why the Protoss has not put his Dragoons farther out on the map in attempting to contain the Terran intelligence. He wanted to make absolutely sure the Terran did not spot that Reaver. Remember that the Reaver can also prove to be very, very useful in holding off the push, which, of course, is imminent in every Protoss versus Terran. And this is the Academy. We have not actually seen the armory out. This may be, oh my God. He is getting barracks. This is very rare. Very rare indeed. This is exactly what the Protoss would never, ever expect. Fast. Well, he's gonna, oh my God, he's really doing this. Okay, he's making all these barracks and he's going to come out with Medic Marine and tanks and push the Terran, probably at the moment that, if he gets this observer in and spots it, it could be very bad. It could be, no, he did not. The Reaver will probably not be able to get in and do any damage. Protoss obviously is assuming that the Terran is going for the fast armory build, and that for that exact reason he can tech to carriers. However, if he gets enough Medic Marine out with stim, he could just stim and kill all of the interceptors due to the timing of this. This is going to prove to be a very interesting game. Wannabe, a player we have not seen a lot, but a player who has some big cojones. He is really doing this in a match that is very important. Patiently scanning and waiting to see exactly when the carrier tech has started, and I'm sure he will find that out very soon. That will trigger the push once he sees the carriers come out. Maybe when he has one or two, that would be the ideal moment. We do not see the lights in the barracks on. They're closed right now, but I'm sure that they will start training Marines very soon. Wannabe cannot miss a single beat this game as far as getting a lot of depots and timing. If he messes anything up with this, it is all over. If he pulls this off, he is a serious badass. That is the only way I can say it. The carrier tech has started. He even makes the medics first so that they will have a lot of energy so that he could stim a lot and pick off those interceptors. Oh, I cannot wait to see how this is going to turn out. Even leaving the one barracks lifted over there so the Protoss would not by any means suspect Marines would be on the way. However, remember, the Terran has a Reaver, and Reavers are very strong against Medic Marine. So it'll be a matter of whether or not the Terran can snipe that Reaver, and it looks like the push might be starting now. Shuttle speed is already up, and Protoss might be expanding pretty soon here. 2 Reavers. out now, and that is very critical information because those Reavers will be key to holding off the push, which is imminent. And they are moving out now here, and I think now the Protoss has realized that it's in fact Medic Marine that is going to be the combination here, and they've already taken out one tank, but where they really want to focus their fire is the Medic Marine. Normally you can never make Medic Marine work against a Protoss player simply because they will get too many Dragoons and get Storm and pretty much everything that's good against Medic Marine, but one good tank shot now! But due to the fact that the Protoss is almost sure to tech the carriers, another tank has been taken out, and he needs to control his army a lot better. Meanwhile, LuCifer needs to do everything possible to delay that imminent push. I'll stop using the word imminent. I think I've used it 5 times already. From coming in here, one Reaver's taken out. He has to move back a little bit farther. And a sizable amount of Dragoons, 2 carriers out. Looks like he's actually completely stopped making carriers. Will this push work? Leapfrogging the siege tanks and moving forward with the Medic Marine. +1 attack has been upgraded for the Medic Marine. Here they are at the bottom of the ridge, right outside the mouth of LuCifer's base. He will have to position these Reavers perfectly. Here he comes in now. The Reavers on the side, target firing the tanks. And it looks like some Marines might be able to snipe that shuttle. No, and here they are now, taking out a lot of... Oh, but it looks like Protoss is actually getting beaten back. And here's some more Reavers now targeting the tanks. But it looks like the Reavers will be taken out. No, the shuttle manages to save it. And he was not paying attention. He did not target those Marines. Here he comes now. He will have to micro the Dragoons perfectly. Here he comes. Once again, the Reaver on the move. The carrier's now out. One good Reaver shot could end this for Terran. But no, it was a bad Reaver shot. And he will pick off that Reaver. But no, it is to no avail. It appears as though Protoss will, in fact, hold this off with a little bit of Dragoon micro. And the timing push of Terran will, in fact, fail. No, actually, I take that back. Well, no, it's the Reaver's still there. And Reavers and Marines just do not mix. He has taken out the tank. What will Terran do now? Besides lose, I don't know. Armor has now been upgraded. Terran scans briefly to check these other spots. However, remember that Protoss does not have another expansion and still has these 2 Stargates, which he really can't utilize because his opponent's getting Medic Marine. Medic Marine, of course, not as good as Goliath at taking on carriers, but if the carriers are small in numbers, the Medic Marine can take out the interceptors with ease. He needs some more medics in with that army. I didn't get a shot at whether or not he had any medics. Here comes some carriers trying to harass the back of the Terran's base. Now going to use that to move in with a Reaver for some more harassment, but suddenly realizes that his opponent's getting too close. And in fact, the Marines will take out those interceptors. This actually could, if it's, well, really it all boils down to the Reaver control of the Protoss. The Reaver can take out, 10 Medic Marine in one hit. Here he comes now. Will he get the Reaver shot off? But wow, those are way too many Dragoons. They will be making easy work for this Terran Medic Marine army. This is why Medic Marine don't work unless you've completely surprised the Protoss. And while I do believe LuCifer was surprised, he was not surprised enough and recovered very well. He's remaking those interceptors. Medics do indeed have a gory death scene. And if he can take out this turret, he can use that to rush in here with that shuttle and the Reaver and start harassing. Oh, 2 shuttles. Double trouble. And now taking out these SCVs. No longer will the Terran be on the same offensive that he was at before. The depots will be taken out next. Good game! And LuCifer has had a 2-0 victory in what was a very exciting round. I will say, though, I have to hand it to Wannabe. That was a very smart strategy. It could have worked had LuCifer's control of the Reaver not been so strong. LuCifer looked very relieved. Probably was not something he could have really practiced for. And that was just, wow, that was an excellent game. We have more games coming up, though. Round 2 is on the way. We're going to have Yellow versus Endai Assam. Excuse me. On the map, Blue Storm. A Zerg versus Protoss. Looking at those games, I think that Well, it just seems like in the first game, our Terran player, Wannabe, was just not strong overall in what he was doing, and really just it did not fall through. The second game, our Terran player, very, very intelligent, but the execution was not up to par. And within a few moments, we're going to have a commercial break, I believe. It looks as though LuCifer so relieved that he won that game, like he's somewhat in shock that such a strategy happened. Then that was indeed a very good strategy. I have to hand it to Wannabe. But you really have to control your units perfectly if you want to come out on top. And there are a lot of people showing up down here at the studio to watch these very exciting games. And again, this is GOM TV. Thanks again to our sponsors, Averatec-Intel, for making this event possible and donating so much money to make such a baller tournament as the GOM TV Averatec-Intel Classic. Again, we have 128 people in this tournament, so we're going to have a lot of games in the future. I'm not a math major, so I don't want to compute exactly how many that would be if I casted it, but indeed, we are going to have a ton of games, a lot of StarCraft, and I hope you enjoy it. Whether you're new or a veteran to StarCraft, you can learn a lot from these games. These are the best players in the world, and we have some very interesting maps that these games are being played on. I guess we're still not closing it out, which means I keep talking. Oh, no, looks like in fact we are. Thanks again for watching. We got another match coming up here in only a few minutes. In only a few minutes. No, we're still not done. In only a few minutes.